Hello, I'm Dave Cullen. I'm a writer. I spent the last 10 years on one project, this book, Columbine. Here's the American edition, my first prop. And I like to write. I like to explore, discover, and then I like to convey. I like the art of trying to convey to the audience what it feels like to be the people involved in the story, to really take you there and make you feel like you're a part of it, like you're experiencing it. I've also written about gays in the military, evangelical Christians, Barbie doll collectors, anybody who's sort of on the fringes of society. I like kind of outsiders and people who are passionate about what they do or their life and who have something interesting to tell us about the human condition and that I haven't seen before, that's something where I can explore and discover and understand what makes people tick. You know, with Columbine, my first instinct was really not about the killers and understanding them. That came later. But, you know, the first day when I went out there to Littleton, I wasn't thinking about these two guys and why did they do it, but I'm trying to think, what's the bigger picture here? What's really going on that caused this? And then also, the people who have had it thrust upon them, what are the cultural factors at work here? What's going to make them either recover to get over it or not get over it? You know, or for the kids who really did a number on me, the way that they were affected by it. What is going to help or hurt their process? And the thing that struck me throughout that first week out there was what I called to my editor, I just referred to the God thing. Something strange was going on there. I mean, there were all these "What would Jesus do" bracelets, and people using phrases like being a slave to the Lord or a slave to Christ, and this seems a little odd to me. I never lived in an evangelical world, and I thought something was going on here. So I actually dove in and I spent almost a month where I went to the churches, I spent time in youth groups and interviewing these people, and I enrolled in Bible study at one of the churches, which was a little weird and a little scary at first, but I learned a lot of things and it was fascinating. And one of the problems, one of the sticking points that I think I learned from there was I tried too hard to interview my way through this story. And I think this might come into play in a different way in the Feral Children Project. But in this case, with the evangelicals, I had the intellectual side of it done pretty quickly. The analysis of what was going on here, the mental part, that was okay. But I didn't feel I had a good way into the story and a way to, as the guide, to take the reader in there and want to be there and want to explore this. And my breakthrough came one Sunday morning when I went to a megachurch called Trinity Christian Center, which was in this remodeled Kmart, and it looked like it was really tacky. It still looked like it was a Kmart turned into a church. And but I walked in there and the energy was just amazing. It was infectious. I mean, people were literally bouncing off each other. They were in the aisles, they were waving their arms, they were wailing, you know, but it was like an old-time tent revival from a movie. And at first I was like, you know, are they putting me on? But no, this is very much was real life. So I immediately sensed, you know, this is the story, this is the way in. And they were singing, they were wailing this song where, you know, it just felt like this church was on fire. And I was just like, I know my way in. If I can capture the moment of what it is like to be in this church right at this moment now, that will set the mood for the piece. The reader will be there in this, transported to this alien world, and then I think they will want to know more about what that's like and what these people like, you know, what's getting them here. And then they're going to want to know more about these people, but they will be there. And I realized, I looked up at the screen where they had the lyrics projected, and the song was called "This Is a Church on Fire." And I was just amazed. I know my story. I know the way, that was the first line of the story. And I opened with that lyric. And I knew I might have a little fight with my editor, but she loved it. And the other thing I liked about that line was it was people telling us what's going on in their own words.